State Governor Umanah said he moved from the PDP to the APC to align the state with the center to attract more federal presence. Governor Umanah says that he had never hidden his admiration for the President Bola Tinubu and his patriotic devotion to national renewal, which is engendering today. But after the defection, Mr. Aniekan Umanah, one of the members of the cabinet of Governor Umanah, has resigned his resignation as the State Commissioner for Information Special. That's the duty that the officer he held, and Ibom, now Deep Sea Port. That was the position he held until his resignation. He was captured in a letter dated June the 6th, 2025, and addressed to the governor. Mr. Umanah says that his resignation was in compliance with Governor Umanah's directive that appointees are willing to move with him from the PDP to the APC to quit. So tonight, let's get some conversation on this one. I'm being joined by a former member of the House of Reps and who is now serving as the Commissioner for Information in the Governor Umanah's cabinet. Honorable Aniekan Umanah is live for us here now. So thanks so much, Honorable, for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much, Shil. Thank you for having me, and good evening to our viewers.
There are those who think that the decision of your leader, your principal, is a miscalculated one.
No, that's not correct. It is not a miscalculated decision. And I've said this earlier on. Does he have a right to make a movement politically? The answer is yes, because the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Section 40 particularly, allows him the right of political association or membership of a political party of his choice. That is one. Two, it is not about what people call defection, no. It is a movement. It's a movement of the people of Akwa Ibom State. And like you saw on the day he announced this, the generality of the people of Akwa Ibom State in various political structures and the establishments and institutions, including the leaders, elders, youths, and so on, came publicly to say they were moving with the governor.
I mean, when you say generality,
yeah.
That all was less than is less than 5,000 capacity.
No, but it's a representative capacity. Yeah, but no matter how
the word on the ground.
If you have the House of Assembly representing constituencies in the state, and they file out and say they are moving with the governor, that is the state, because they are representing constituencies. But let me come to the most important part.
Well, I was going to ask you whether or not, because you heard what Senator Ndume says there, look, the defection of politicians and the thinking of the Nigerian people should be aligned so that the party in power will not be deceived into thinking that the people are with them or that they are doing the right thing. So the question is, the question about the political miscalculation is the fact that the majority in the DNA of the Akwa Ibom politics is PDP.
Yes, I understand that, and don't forget, I have been in that process for a while.
Yeah, and I've enjoyed it.
So I understand
for the better part of the political career.
Let me take you through a few prisms. One, I have talked about the issue of personal right and the guarantee of expressing himself as a leader of the state. That is one, that's guaranteed. Two, the governor of Akwa Ibom said, His Excellency Pastor Umanah did not just get up and make this decision. He went through a series of consultations, over a period, trying to get the people to understand his viewpoint and have them with him. And he got that before he made that move. So it's not something that just got up, gathered everybody, and then announced a decision. No. It took a period of time for this decision to come to fruition. Now, what are other condition precedent in this situation we have found? The political party that we all belong to is already in big trouble at the national level. And you and I know that there is nothing that happens to the political party that is not determined by the National Working Committee. As it were, there are issues that you cannot be sure of what will happen tomorrow. Those are some of the considerations. Yes. Has he met with the people? Yes. Are the people with him? Yes. Is the interest of Akwa Ibom carried along in all of this? Yes. Now, like Senator Ndume did talking about voters. Yeah, voters are not, most of the voters are not members of any political party. They exercise their rights according to who they want to support. Has Governor Umanah acquitted himself creditably well as a governor in the last 2 years? The answer is yes, and Nigerians have said so, Akwa Ibom people have said so, because he has performed as a governor. He has done what he came to do under his Arise Agenda mantra.
Honorable Umanah, there hasn't been any test as to the popularity of the decision of the governor. It's a personal decision, and his supporters and his structure politically have moved along. Of course, Ini says, look, I can't go with him, because the governor has said clearly, if you can't serve in my cabinet, I'm CB in the PDP. But what is the fate of the lawmakers? Upon what grounds are they moving? The executive, an elected member in the executive can move, a commissioner can move. But there is an establishment in the Supreme Court judgment as to how a lawmaker can decide to leave the party. Are their positions not in jeopardy?
No, it can't be, because the party is not together anymore.
Which party? Is it in Akwa Ibom?
Yeah, no, the PDP at the time. The PDP.
You mean at the top?
At the top. That is where everything is determined. So how do you
imagine that there is a bigger crisis in the PDP at the top?
There is a bigger crisis. You and I know that.
Does it affect Akwa Ibom State?
How will it not affect? It does, because it is a national working committee that publishes who becomes the candidate of the party. It is a national working committee that approves who holds what odd position, who can contest the election. In fact, the list of candidates is usually published by the national working committee. It is the national chairman and the secretary that signs any form that goes to INEC. So the members of the State House of Assembly have acted in the rightful position, understanding that there is crisis.
So you think it can stand the test of time?
No, it can.
Because the party says they will challenge after the Delta defection. They will challenge all of these defections. What happened to the former governor? Why didn't he move? Because in Delta State we saw former governor move with the governor. It seems your governor, your principal is on his own.
No, that is his personal decision. He has a right to decide where to be. Like I did say.
So Governor Emmanuel and Governor Eno are not on the same page.
That Section 40 still guarantees the serving governor, the former governor, the right to decide where to be.
So I'm just asking you, you've worked with, you know Governor Emmanuel.
I know very well.
You know Governor Eno.
I know.
And you know the kind of relationship.
They have very deep respect for themselves.
Yeah, but so they are not politically on the same page. That's what you're saying.
They have deep respect for themselves. So let's hold on and see what happens. But that respect
is not in alignment right now.
No, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
So what is clearly playing out in Akwa Ibom State is that Governor Emmanuel is still in the PDP, right? Is that the case?
He has not come out to say he has moved.
Is he in the PDP? You can tell us.
He has not come out to say he has moved. He has not. At least you would have seen that publicly.
Mr. Umanah, so you are a member of the APC now?
Yes, I am.
How does it feel?
It is political realignment. It feels okay. You can make a change.
And you feel good within yourself?
Why not? I feel good because we are acting what we call an enlightened state interest. An enlightened state interest. If you listen to the governor, he made it very clear that this movement is predicated on enlightened state interest, and is also aligning the state with this national government and the center in the interest of Akwa Ibom.
So you don't think this is a political gamble? What happens in 2027 if things don't go the manner in which politicians are thinking?
Well, I cannot say what happens in 2027, but I know that the Akwa Ibom is being positioned to have very good benefits by this alignment. I also know that Akwa Ibom political future is secure with this movement. And this is a movement. It's not about defection. I keep telling people, leave the word defection. Because this is a decision that is predicated on consultation and acceptance and agreement of the people.
The right word or the English meaning of what the governor and some of you did was defection. But the political messaging or coinage of it might be movement, but it's right to call it defection because that's the English interpretation of it. But what happens? Because a lot of the old voters, the traditional Akwa Ibom voters, they know the umbrella.
Yes,
are they educated enough? When I mean education, and no disrespect at all.
Yeah.
I mean a political sensitization to the extent that they are conscious, because people would do something that they have been doing over the time. They will naturally, even without knowing, they will have done the wrong thing, and because they are used to doing it. That conscientization, is it there in the minds of the Akwa Ibom person that has PDP ingrained in their bloodstream?
There is nothing cast on iron or stone. It is the process of political education that also had that color ingrained, or the umbrella ingrained. It is political education.
So
that
the umbrella
education
is on. Now
that political education is on because voting is done at the polling units, and people are represented by different people at the polling units. So I can tell you, this evening, that there has been consultation and mobilization from the ward levels before this decision was made.
So it was a thorough job.
It was a very thorough bottom-up.
And the governor did all of this job.
The governor took his time to
only that he couldn't convince Governor Umanah to move.
He took time to do all of this.
Is that the case?
If you see, you cannot decide for a man. A man must make his decision.
All right.
But in terms of consultation, that was done.
All right. Give me a moment. We're going on another break. And when we return, the implication, because like Two-Face says, that there's an implication. The implication of the defection, and according to Honorable Umanah, movement to the APC. What does this mean for the future of the politics of Governor Eno, especially when we don't have Governor Emmanuel in the mix of things? So of course, they've come to meet the Senate President, because we are Akpabio. It looks to me now that Akpabio is a greater winner in all of this. We'll be right back after this break, everyone. You understand?
At a time when payments were a puzzle, there arose a need for a game changer, one that could pioneer e-payment solutions, enabling transactions between buyers and sellers, like making payments online or with just phone number. So, if you're still wondering how it all started, look no further.
Unified Payments, unifying businesses for people.
And cable, great quality, now with the new look.
Welcome to Aniekan. The thrill is on.
Sports bets and casino games, the stakes are rising. Play your way, the chance is near. With competitive odds, the win is clear. Aniekan, bet smart, win big, feel alive. Lightning payouts, non-stop vibes. Your journey to greatness, it's here, it's begun. Aniekan!
Thank you so much, everyone. Our closing moments down on the movement, Honorable Umanah says, he calls it, what happened when we saw Governor Eno lead PDP leaders and members out of the party into the APC fold. But, Honorable, it does look to me that someone like Akwa Ibom seems to be a bigger winner, because now, as a former governor and as a big number 3 man in the country, he's been able to bring his state into the APC fold.
Yes, he is number 3 citizen. His Excellency Senator Akwa Ibom is a number 3 citizen, so that is already big. It's not just becoming big because Governor Eno has moved. No, that is already big enough, and that is recognized. And the governor has always recognized that. and all of us, even before this movement. So that has been that. So the governor came on a mission. On the first day of his inauguration, he announced that he came on a ministry of reconciliation. And he wanted to bring the entire state together. He's been doing that deliberately, and by the grace of God, Akwa Ibom has become more unified than ever since he became governor. People from different platforms, different political parties, even before the movement, were now beginning to come together, talking to themselves and working together. And then finally, the movement happened. Yes, it will be better for Akwa Ibom. There are a lot of things Akwa Ibom people are looking forward to. Akwa Ibom people are looking forward to the Ibom Deep Sea Port project. They want to see that happen. You can't do that without the federal government. The maritime development...
Has there been a promise for that to be done?
But you must continue to work these routes to ensure that these things happen.
What other benefits are there for the people of Akwa Ibom State? So many.
Even what we just listened to Senator Ndume talking about appointments and things that can happen. There's a lot of benefits for a state to have in working closer with the government at the center. And His Excellency the Governor had made it very clear that he was supporting President Tinubu. He had a very deep respect for him and what he was doing. And he was also supporting the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, His Excellency, to return to the Senate and continue as Senate President. And he did say that he will not be able to do that from another platform, that he needs to come clean and work with them in a manner that will allow him to support them properly.
Honorable Umanah, my closing question for you tonight will be, you heard what Senator Ndume said about the way some Nigerians are feeling, about the performance of this government, that things are not yet the way it should be. And you're going into a party that has the description that Senator Ndume said. Is there a fear that this is more like getting from pan to fire?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. It's about getting things to work and getting things to work the way they ought to work, and that's what I'm seeing. Yes, even he did also acknowledge that Mr. President himself did acknowledge that he understands the pains and things that he not only needs Nigerians to give him a little time and patience so that things will flow through. But that's also happening everywhere in the world. If you look at in the economic indices and all of that, it's not as if it comes so simple. But more particularly, Akwa Ibom is where we are, and things are working in Akwa Ibom. I say to you, things are working because you have a government that is very responsive and cares for the people. And like I did say to you, rural development, bottom-up approach, care for its citizens, for infrastructural development going on under the Arise agenda to ensure that the people of Akwa Ibom will have the real benefit of having a governor who really cares for them.
All right. Aniekan Umanah is the Commissioner for Information in Akwa Ibom State. Thank you so much indeed.
Yeah, thank you, Shehu. I thought we had time. So.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate the time. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. So that's our show for tonight, everyone. But just before we go, everyone, and here is my final word tonight. And it's going to be majorly to Mr. President. President